So I've been feeding California blackworms to these African butterfly cichlids for a while and hoping to get them to breed. And I just realized there's a bunch of babies already.
Welcome back to the Fish Cave. If you guys like surprise baby fish and a pretty cool rare cichlid, this is the video for you. Today we're continuing our series. We're going to take a dive into each and one of the 16 tanks in the rack system. So let's get to it. If you're new here, welcome. If you end up enjoying today's video or learning something, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. So the next tank we're gonna take a look at in our tank by tank series is gonna be this 20-gallon long tank in the top right. Now I wasn't planning on showing this tank for a while, but there's a good reason why we're gonna talk about it today. If you notice, there's two decent sized fish in there. That's a mom and a dad, and we had a surprise birth. So we got some exciting stuff to cover. Let's jump into the tank. So the original plan for this tank was gonna be a pleco breeding colony, and I had a bunch of Bristol-nose plecos in there, and I was gonna grow them out. I actually had a few bursts and some batches in here, but then a few months ago I picked up a tank because it had some really big and cool plants in it, and it came with these two interesting fish I had never heard of called an African butterfly cichlid. Not an African butterfly fish like I think you probably see in the stores and I've seen around, but an African butterfly cichlid. These guys are actually a West African cichlid. So usually when we talk about African cichlids, we're talking about Mbuna peacocks in Lake Malawi, or we're talking about one of the other rift lakes like Lake Tanganyika. But in this case, like I said, we're across the continent on the west side. Just fed these guys some flake food. I've been giving them a break from the blackworms just to switch it up a little bit. You guys can see the babies are actually hanging out right close to the gravel. They're very, very tiny. They're in the back there. And as they get spooked, they kind of swim down into the gravel, so you really can't even see them. And these guys are pretty flared up and colored up. They got some black vertical stripes, and then you can see the red in their top fin. There's some blues in there too. I've had these guys about 3 or 4 months now, and I've fed them, you know, mostly just variety of flake and what have you. They seem to be doing good, but 2 weeks after feeding blackworms, and like I said, I didn't even realize they spawned, but sure enough they did. They're the only other inhabitant in the tank right now. That's a L144 albino bristlenose pleco. There was 3 in here. I took the other 2 out because, like I said, I know these guys would get a little territorial, the butterfly cichlids. They're pretty peaceful except when they breed. This tank is big enough. Like I said, he has plenty of room to go off and feed without bothering them, but they do let him know, hey, we have fry and leave us alone. Some of the plants in here, you see the Java fern Windaloth on the rock. That's one I got from Patrick up in North Carolina, a subscriber. Big thanks to him. Let me know what plant this is. I'm not really sure. I think this is some type of a crypt, but I'm not really sure. I'm gonna take a step back here. The wood, I got this wood from my local friend Chris. Big shout out to Chris. And I think it's just a Malaysian driftwood. I'm not sure if it matches. The substrate is some, I believe it's fluorite. I have a pleco cave in here. I had 3 plecos in here breeding, but I wanted to put a stop to that operation because it was going too well. So like I said, there's just the one male L144. I'm gonna grow him out and maybe get some female L144s. We have this stem plant back here that's covered in algae. I forget what the name of this stem plant is or where I got it from, to be honest. And up front here, we have a gold mystery snail. I had originally bought a few of these guys, but this is my last remaining gold mystery snail. Unfortunately, when I first got the mystery snails, I didn't realize how good of climbers they were. And even though all my tanks in the rack system have either glass tops or, you know, cover of some sort, some of them were open slightly in the back. And unfortunately, I found a few mystery snails on the ground, and this guy is the only one remaining. But we haven't had an escapee in a while. It's really cool to see the behavior with these fish as they take care of their fry for about a month. I did some research, and apparently they will, you know, care for the young for at least a month, and that's when they'll be ready to spawn again. If we come back over here to the female, looks like one little fry is swimming right along with her. I'm not sure exactly how many fry there are. I'd say there's at least 30 to 40. Looking up online, they can have clutches up to 500 eggs. I don't think this is a 500 egg clutch by any means. Definitely less than 100, but there could be upwards of 50 plus in here. Like I said, they live in the gravel. They're so tiny right now. You can kind of see them coming up and down from the gravel. As far as future plans for the tank, I definitely want to add some more plants. You know, this driftwood is beautiful, but I think it would look cool covered in maybe some different types of mosses. And I also want to get maybe some more carpeting type plant, or, you know, just something in the substrate. I got a few random crypts here and there, but just something more to fill out the bottom. In terms of stocking, probably going to keep it with these guys here for a while, and then maybe try to breed the bristlenose in here and grab a female L144. But nothing too crazy in here. Really want to step up the plant game in this tank the most. I hope you guys enjoyed taking a closer look at this simple 20-gallon long scape. Like all the tanks, it just has a sponge filter here for filtration. I'm really enjoying making this series. I really enjoy these fish. I hope you guys learned about a new fish, or if you already knew about the African butterfly cichlid, you learned a little something new, or maybe got to see some of their fry for the first time. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Stay positive and stay passionate.